Hello, facilitators. Welcome to yet another project-based learning module. And here we are going to learn about WH questions for grade 4 English. The chapter is Adventure, Arunima Sinha, A Brave Soul. Now, before we go into what is WH questions all about, let me just remind you what are project-based learning activities. Now, these activities would enable our learners to engage, explore their surroundings, and to develop skills. Isn't that interesting? So, yes, we have certain activity based or skill based activities where our learners are going to explore, take an adventure, come back, and they're going to engage themselves in developing their skills. So, with that, let's begin. WH questions is the concept that we are going to cover with this particular module, and our learning objectives are ask and respond to WH questions and understanding the different purpose of each question word. Yes, whereas the learning outcomes that we map are as follows. The learners will describe briefly or orally in writing about events, places, or personal experiences in English, and they will respond verbally or in writing to the questions based on day-to-day life experiences, an article, story, or poem in English. So those are our learning objectives and simultaneously our learning outcomes. Moving on, we have a leading question, which is always given after or which is always asked after our learning objectives and outcomes. So, what is the leading question for this particular chapter? Can we give one word answers to WH questions? What are the different optional questions or optional multiple questions that our learners can think about is why is it important to ask questions? What are the different types of questions? What is the purpose of each WH question? So, teachers or facilitators, you can list out the different WH questions or you can list out what WH stands for. What, when, where, why, and who? Yes. So these are the WH questions. Now here we have our activity 1 where the students have to note down 5 questions you were asked today by the teacher, parent or friend. So the students are going to list down 5 questions asked today. So these are the 5 questions. They are going to answer 5 questions asked by father today, 5 questions asked by the class teacher today, and 5 questions asked by mother today. So for this, you need to keep a pencil. You need your listening and writing skills too. So when the teacher or parents ask these questions, the child or the learner can make a note of it in the blanks given. For instance, let's talk about the 5 questions asked by a class teacher today. So the first one is done for you. How or did you do your homework is the first question the class teacher asks. The second question the class teacher can ask is, how was your day yesterday? The third question can be, where are your friends? Are they in the playground? The fourth question, how did you solve this problem? And the fifth question can be, why did you not come to school yesterday? Yes, so these are the 5 different questions a class teacher can ask a student. Whereas the students can finish the other 2 exercises on their own. Moving ahead, activity 2, which of those questions needed only one word answers? Yes, now first we teach our learners to frame questions and next we are going to ask them or we are going to tell them Which of those questions needed only one word answer? For example, the child should have a very good memory when he or she is going to enter or is going to answer the questions. So, first we had 5 questions asked by the father, and that can only be answered with a yes or a no. So the father here has asked, did you brush your teeth? So our learner can write either a yes or a no. It can be yes, father, I did brush my teeth, and no, father, I did not brush my teeth. When it comes to the class teacher, did you do your homework? Yes, ma'am, I did my homework. No, ma'am, I'm sorry, I did not do my homework. So yes and no is the one word answers which the child or the learner can use for their questions that they have framed in activity 1. Next, we have activity 3, roll the dice. Now, here learners can use a dice, smartness to answer questions quickly, and they can play it as a group of 4 to 5 friends, and it is all about collaborative learning. So the students or the learners are going to roll the dice on the chart. They are going to answer the question when it's their turn. They will look at the picture given, and if in case the learners are going to answer wrong, they will have to require to start the game all over. So their friends can check each other if the answers are correct or wrong. For example, we have the first question which says, how many students are there in this picture? So the learner can answer, there are 4 students in this picture, which is absolutely right. If in case the learner says that there are only 3 students in this picture, well, the learner has to start all over again. Yes? So roll your dice, be smart to answer the questions quickly, and enjoy the game. Next, we have activity 4, purpose of each of the WH question. Now, here we are going to see what is the purpose of each of the WH question. You need a pencil, you need good memory, and the ability to draw slanting lines. Okay? So, here you are going to read the sentence below carefully. One column contains question words and the other contains the purpose of each of these question words. Match the correct question word to its purpose. Yes, as facilitators, let's help our young learners. Now, who? That is the word, that's a WH word. Now, what will the learner match it to? Who is basically for people. It is referred to people. Yes, so you can guide your learners to match the word who to the sentence is used to ask about people. Yes, so who can be matched to the sentence is used to ask about people. What? What is used to ask about time? Yes, likewise, the rest of it can be guided by the facilitator to complete the task. And all the learners have to have a very good memory. Next, we have our activity 5, which is a reading comprehension. And it's a very interesting reading comprehension. So let's read. Now, reading comprehension would develop the reading, listening, and the writing skills of our learners. Yes. So the learner should also have a love for stories about environment and how to protect it. So let's start reading the comprehension. Rani's question magic. Rani loved helping her Appa on their farm. Today, Appa looked worried. The tractor needs fixing, he said. But my tools are missing. Rani had an idea. Let's ask questions to find them. Appa was puzzled. Questions? Rani nodded. Special questions, like who might have borrowed the tools? Appa thought maybe Raju from the next farm. He needed a wrench for his cart. Great, said Rani. When could he have borrowed it? Appa thought again. A few days ago, maybe Tuesday. Excellent, Rani cheered. And where would Raju keep borrowed things? They rushed to Raju's shed. There, peeking out, was the red wrench. Back at their farm, Appa smiled. You see, questions helped us find things. Rani grinned. Which question helped the most? So, this question can be asked to our young learners and get them puzzling. Yes, facilitators? With that, followed are a few questions, which the questions can be read out by our facilitators. And likewise, you can guide the students, you can guide the learners to read through the passage and answer the correct option. Next, we have the practice sheet, which is given at the very end of each PBL. The practice sheets have questions. The facilitator can guide the children to revise the concept of WH questions. So the questions can be read by the facilitator, following which the options can be retrieved from the learners. And once the correct option is given by our learners, the explanation for the same can be provided by the facilitator. Yes, so every practice sheet has 10 questions and which is followed by our OMR sheet. Now, an OMR sheet looks exactly like this, where the student has to enter the ID and bubble the numbers. Then you have the PBL serial number, you have the subject, the class, and post which the self-assessment question, the 10 questions, can be bubbled. The answers can be bubbled on this OMR sheet as a practice for their future examinations. Now, going ahead, for the complete solutions to all the practice sheets provided at the end of each PBL, you can always refer to Teachopia and you may follow the path that's given below. With that, this is one of the PBL implementation video. I hope it has been a great learning. Thank you so much.